So you want to start a YouTube channel? Let's talk about it. In today's video, I'm addressing all of your privacy and security concerns when it comes to starting a YouTube channel. YouTube has a number of features and settings that you can use to help improve the security of your channel and safeguard your privacy. So I'm going to walk through a couple of things you can do to take advantage of those. I'll also be going through faceless channels and how to do faceless channels the right way. Stick around. Hi, my name is Chinye and I'm a business startup strategist. I use my 10 years of corporate finance and strategy experience to teach people how to start and grow their business, even if they don't have the money to do so. In my current series, I am teaching you guys all about how to start and build your business on YouTube. So go ahead, hit that subscribe button down below and let's get started. If you are concerned about privacy and security when you're starting your YouTube channel, the first thing I recommend starts before you even set up your channel. Go ahead and create a brand spanking new Gmail account that is not linked or tied in any way to you. Don't use your real name in that Gmail. Make sure it's a fresh account that you have not used anywhere else. One of the ways that YouTube and all of these other social media accounts are able to recommend your friends or your contacts is through your email address and your phone number that you use across all of your social media signups. Now, unless you're willing to get a brand spanking new phone number to use as your Gmail signup, you will have to provide Gmail with your actual phone number to set up two-factor verification. Now, that two-factor verification unlocks a couple of additional features in YouTube, such as custom thumbnails and being able to upload longer videos. So unless you're going to be able to do that extra step of getting another phone number that will enable you to do two-factor verification, that is something that you're going to have to kind of live with. I won't go into any further detail about that, but you can go ahead and grab my ebook in the link down below where I do touch on the additional features that are unlocked with your telephone number. The next thing you want to do is make sure that you do not share that email with anyone. This email address should also not be used for business inquiries. If you go on most creators' channels, you'll see in their description box that they'll leave an email address that people can use to contact them for business inquiries. That is not what this email address is for. You need to remember that your email address is what you use to sign into your account. So if you share that email address, you are essentially giving hackers one piece of the puzzle to potentially hack into your account. If you need another email address to facilitate business communication, just go ahead and set up another Gmail account exclusively for that purpose. It may seem like a lot to handle and manage, but in the end, it's better to safeguard your security. The next thing I would recommend is using a pseudonym on your channel. I can almost guarantee you that there are not that many Imans or Chanels or Monets running around in this world that are creating content on YouTube. A lot of people use pseudonyms on their channel, so don't feel weird about safeguarding your privacy by using a pseudonym or even your middle name. Your channel name and your channel handle can be changed pretty frequently on YouTube, so don't feel concerned about being stuck with one handle, especially if in the beginning stages you're not entirely sure about how you want to show up on YouTube. When I first started my personal channel, this is something that I did as well. I was not comfortable with sharing my full name on my channel, and therefore I just used a channel handle that was completely different from my name. Now that I am no longer in corporate America and I work for myself, this is no longer an issue for me. At this point, I really do not care about nosy coworkers because the only coworker that I have is my coffee. By doing this, you're making it harder for people to potentially find you in the real world if that's something you choose to keep private. On the flip side, this would also mean that people who might be in your life and searching for you may find it harder to find you as well. That may not be a bad thing. A lot of people, when they first start on YouTube, want to do it privately and see how they feel about it. As they grow, they'll then decide to share it with the world after the fact, and that is perfectly fine and perfectly legitimate. The next thing that I would recommend is to do a Google audit of yourself. Go ahead and search your name in Google and see what shows up. If there are things that you don't want out there, figure out how to remove them. This goes hand in hand with my previous advice about using a pseudonym. It just acts as an extra layer of security between who you are in real life and who you are on YouTube. You also want to make sure that the photos that you use in your Google account are not photos that you have previously used online in your real life. Remember that Google can search using images, so just make sure that the images that you use in your profile are not images that you have used before and could therefore link your pseudonym with your real name. The next suggestion that I would make is to set up comment filtering on your channel. This is going to be especially important if you want to prevent doxing or if you want to prevent someone from revealing your true identity in the event that someone you know in real life comes across your channel and decides to spill the beans, whether maliciously or unintentionally. So, in your comment filters, you have the ability to prevent viewers from using specific words in your comment section. I would recommend going ahead and putting your real name in that filter, as well as elements of your address, your job, or current workplace, your children and or spouses' names, and even your subdivision or apartment complex name. However deep you choose to go, just know that you have that as an option to prevent people from doxing you, at least in your comments. Next, you want to focus on your background. In the later sections of this YouTube series, as well as in my ebook, I will go through some pre-production steps that you need to take before you actually sit down and film. One of those steps is to make sure that you do a sweep of your background. You want to make sure that nothing has anything on it that could identify your real name or your address or any kind of identifying information. This is especially true if you are doing unboxings. Most people are not aware of this, but certain tracking numbers will, at the very minimum, list your city and state, if not your entire address. So you need to make sure that if you are doing unboxing videos, that you either completely remove the address label, including the barcode, or completely black out that label and barcode and the tracking numbers. This is especially true if you are a travel vlogger. I remember watching a girl's TikTok video where she held her hand over her name, but not her confirmation number on her boarding pass. And someone used that information to cancel her flight. So just be very aware and very cognizant of the tricky or weird ways that you can accidentally reveal your personal information. My last suggestion is preemptive blocking. As I mentioned earlier, I know some people would prefer that friends and family not be able to find them. So if you are in that bucket and you know or can somehow find out your friends or family's YouTube accounts or emails, then go ahead and just preemptively block them. There's nothing else that really needs to be said on that topic, so I'll just go ahead and move on. All right, let's now talk about faceless YouTube channels. More and more, this is becoming a trend. However, I have seen so many people recommend things like YouTube automation. And quite frankly, I've heard that YouTube is especially trying to crack down on these, especially on those channels that are trying to monetize these YouTube automated channels. You want to make sure that you are bringing the you part of YouTube. I have seen a couple of situations where YouTube is actually not approving monetization for these types of automated or faceless channels, even if they reach the required 4,000 watch hours and 1,000 subs. That's not to say that you can't hide your face. It just means that you're going to have to actually put some work and effort into your channel. I'm going to go ahead and give you a couple of examples of really cool faceless channels that still bring personality and still leave the content creator with branding and business opportunities outside of AdSense monetization. So the very first one is Four Seasons Nebom. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. I love her channel because she essentially goes headless. Her content is primarily her cooking and eating, but she does this even without showing her face. This is a method that you can use to protect your privacy while still creating content. This method would work if you were doing any kind of fashion content, vlogging, or even fitness, just to name a few. Go ahead and only film yourself from the neck down. You don't need to show your face in order to show your other fashion or even some of your workouts. Think about how you can apply this headless filming method to your content if you want to go for the faceless YouTube idea. The second channel I want to talk about is Taylor Budgets. Now, her content is more an example from an entire niche. So she does budget planning videos, but in truth, this can go for any type of planning video. All you see are the creator's hands. This is a great way for you to share your content and bring yourself without having to show your face. Now, this particular creator, she has shown her face. That's not the reason why she only uses her hands. That's just the nature of the niche that she's in. But if you're doing any kind of cooking content, or if you do sewing or drawing content or something like that, these are things where you don't have to show your face. If what you require is just working with your hands, then go ahead and just show your hands. The next example of faceless channels will focus more so on first person style angles. What that means is that the camera isn't facing you, but it's your perspective of the world. So for example, if you are a travel creator, the camera isn't in your face filming your face, but rather it's filming the world around you. With this type of content, you can then layer a voiceover to narrate. You don't need to show your face in order for this type of content to work. This would also work if you are a makeup artist and you're working on a client. Of course, you will need to get permission from the client, but the focus would be on your client's face and not on yours. So think about that as a method of creating content while still maintaining your own privacy, even if you're not necessarily maintaining someone else's privacy. The final example of how to do faceless channels correctly is by just creating your own original visuals using animation or even live action production with other people. So if you're that kind of creative and can do any kind of 2D or 3D animation, then 100% go for it. Make and create your own visuals and upload them to YouTube. If you're into live action production, whether that be as a director or a producer or something like that, and you're working with the team that's doing the action in front of the camera, then that's another option of going faceless yourself. You can then supplement all of this content with footage of your viewpoint as you're working, and then put voiceovers on top of that to show the life and times of what you do without having to show your face. So that is all for this video. If you're interested in exploring faceless channels further and would like some additional assistance that cater specifically to your needs, then go ahead and go to my website and book a consultation, and we can talk more about it and help you carve out your own unique niche. In the next video, I'm talking all about equipment. I'm going to walk through everything you could possibly need in order to get started filming and creating content. I will also spend time specifically going through creating content when all you have is a smartphone. There are some unique and interesting gadgets that you can use to help up your content creation quality and performance, so I'll talk about that. If that sounds like something that you're interested in, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and the notification bell down below to stay up to date on this series and my upcoming series on starting a t-shirt brand right in time for the upcoming holiday season. Also, don't forget to grab my new ebook, The Comprehensive Guide to YouTube, Everything You Need to Know to Start, Grow, and Monetize Your YouTube Channel, in the link down below. And as always, thank you so much for watching.